to each and every one of you. We will begin with the school prayer by Deepti. Over to you, Deepti. Deepti, the school prayer.
Yes, hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Light, want in every atom, hidden light, shining in every share. Oh, hid all in oneness, may each feel himself as one with thee, feel one with every other.
Thank you. I think you need to do something with your mic, Deepti. And now we're really happy that we have Sri Mannjunatha with us. I'd like everyone to keep your speakers on mute because the whole thing will be recorded. Okay. And we will have questions only at the end. And when you want to ask questions, kindly unmute yourself and ask the questions. We now have an introduction of our esteemed speaker by Deepti. Over to you, Deepti.
Okay. Yeah. Is it loud enough?
Yes, now it's better.
Is it loud enough?
Yes, Deepti.
Okay. Our speaker for today is Mr. M.S. Mannjunatha. Mr. M.S. Mannjunatha is a postgraduate chemistry Bangalore. His career as a lecturer in history, later founded a Universal Academy to train for engineering examinations. Short span of became an icon of excellence, producing excellent for he is a disciple of world-renowned philosopher Swami Parthasarathi. Swami Parthasarathi is the founder of Vedanta, a world resource for study, research, and dissemination of Vedanta. He has undergone a 3-year residential course at Vedanta Academy.
We can't hear.
Community. He conducts study classes and workshops on and workshops on Vedanta for students, faculty, and corporate community. The corporate community is one Ms. MS.
I think Deepti is having a bit of a problem. So, okay.
Right side. Intro's over.
Not very clear, Deepti. I'd like you to move over to your laptop if you can. Anyway, a very, very warm welcome to you, sir. And we have given the profile on the WhatsApp. So if you didn't really hear that very clearly, I request you to kindly read it. It's given, on the WhatsApp. And I ask you, sir, to say a little bit about yourself before we start our talk. And it's over to you, Mr. Mannjunatha.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, very clear. Thank you.
To start with, we'll have our prayer. So, Om Sahanavatu Bunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navaditamastu Mavitvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Well, I started my career as it is given in the introduction as a chemistry lecturer in one of the college in Jayanagar. I am from a rural background. My father was a farmer, so somehow they helped me to study in Bangalore, and I did my post graduation in Central College. Those days, that was a reputed college. So I started my career as a chemistry lecturer. In our family, I was the eldest son. My father gave me all the responsibility. So I had to conduct the tuition classes so as to manage the family. So gradually tuition became more. So one fine day I resigned the college and started running only the coaching. Meanwhile, I came in touch with our great guru, Swami Parthasarathi. So he used to come to Bangalore to deliver lectures on Bhagavad Gita at Town Hall way back in 25, 30 years ago, I'm saying. Now also he was coming. So I attended his lecture, inspired by Vedanta. Then my brother joined the course. I also joined the course at Vedanta Academy. Most of you may have heard about Swami Parthasarathi, who runs an academy near Pune, where he trains students from India and around the world through a 3-year residential course, where he teaches ancient wisdom, Vedanta. So, I personally, he teaches classes. He conducts the class. He used to conduct those classes morning, evening, and all that. I've attended the class. After that, whenever there is an opportunity like this, I've been conducting classes. More so, I conduct workshop for teachers, students in different colleges. So that is what I am doing. Same thing is given in the introduction as well. So now, thank you for the opportunity here. And on our, I'll be giving a small presentation to highlight what we have studied and what is all about this ancient wisdom. So ancient wisdom is the eternal knowledge of life and living. When I say eternal knowledge of life and living, it was true those days, in the past, in the present, in the future also, same knowledge holds good. So this knowledge sprung from Himalayas. It is the original and true knowledge that directs one to the goal of human existence. Nobody is aware of the human existence. Nobody is bothering. Very few people question. And this is the knowledge which directs one to the goal of human existence. The knowledge that helps us to discover the self within. This is knowledge that helps us to discover the self within. In fact, it is the knowledge from which all religions have sprung up. We have too many religions in the present scenario, but all of them have sprung from Sanatana Dharma only. So that knowledge gives us the strength to win over 6 enemies of the mankind. 6 enemies of the mankind, Arishadvargas. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These are the main enemies of the mankind. Nobody is aware. And one need to win over these things. And this ancient wisdom equips one with the ability to win these enemies and discover true happiness. And when we refer to this Sanatana Dharma, which is based on Prasthanatrayas. So when we say Prasthanatrayas, Brahma Sutras, Upanishad, and Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Sutra, Upanishad, and Bhagavad Gita is referred to as Prasthanatrayas. So that's the basic knowledge. But the problem today is nobody is reading it, nobody is interested in it. More so because it's in Sanskrit, ancient language, Sanskrit, and it is cryptic as well. Very cryptic, everybody cannot decode that. You need a master to decode that and to teach us. For example, even if you take Bhagavad Gita, a lot of publicity. Most people oppose Bhagavad Gita without even bothering to read it. Without reading, you heard it in the news and all that. Most of them have not read the book, but still oppose that, it inculcates caste system, things like that they talk without really reading and understanding it. On the other hand, those people, most of them who read it, either do not understand it or misunderstand it. Thereby, a proper interpretation, proper guidance about this knowledge is required. In this direction, our master, our guru, Swami Parthasarathi, has done an incredible work. He has spent 20 years researching and studying this ancient wisdom, Vedanta, full time, and then brought all these ideas and concepts into English, that also in contemporary thought and language, so that anybody who reads it should be able to understand. In fact, everybody should read that, only then life becomes fruitful. Not only that, he has presented it in the contemporary thought, he has presented it very systematically, scientifically, English, so that anybody can relate to it. I am taking this opportunity to give a glimpse about his work in this introduction. So, I am sharing a PowerPoint presentation. Just a second.
There's some problem, sir?
Yeah, it's very little problem. Can you all see me?
Yes, and we can hear you.
Yeah.
We
I
can
think
hear
now-
you and see you.
Yeah. How is it now?
Yes, we can
suppose
see.
it's all
Yes,
clear.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
we can see it.
So, well, that's about ancient wisdom. And in the introduction, I told you I am a chemistry lecturer. So, for the students, I do conduct some introductory program regarding Vedanta and all that. To start with, I ask them one simple question. Why are you studying? And when I conduct program for the teachers as well, what is education? Most people are not even aware of the purpose of education. In fact, Swami Vivekananda puts it beautifully. It is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. This idea came from ancient wisdom. Perfection is already in man, that must manifest. And the purpose of education is just that. In fact, the word education, educate, is derived from two Latin terms, edu and cate. So to draw out, that's exactly what he is saying. So we have to draw out. In order to do that, I ask them one simple question. Why are you studying? To the students. Just in a few minutes, I just share, what happens in the college classes and all that nowadays. And everybody says success without even bothering to know what is success. Why are you studying? Answer is success. And for success means different for different people anyway. Some of the students have told me they wanted to become scientists. Then I asked them, why do you want to become a scientist? One student told me, My name should be printed in every book like Einstein or Newton. So, for him, success means name. Another student, I want to become famous. And many students want to do IAS, IPS, or become politicians. For that reason, we are studying, they told me. I asked them, why? They said there will be a lot of power if we become IAS, IPS officers. These are the ideas with which students are studying in the modern context. For name, fame, power, position, status, respect, and mainly money. And some students have told me, in our family, all are educated. It's a prestige question, therefore I should get educated. They join a university, get degrees, and all those things. That's correct. Very rarely, some children tell me that they got to take care of the family, so they are studying. These are the answers present students know about education. Why are they getting educated means these are the things that they want to acquire. Take care of the existing family or start a new family, for which they think education is necessary. Look at all these answers. These all what the present education system is doing. Parents, colleges, everyone is telling them these are the things which you have to acquire, and they have no other answer. I told them, this is not what you want. You want something other than this. They had no clue. I had to tell them that more than name, fame, power, respect, etc., you need to gain peace. You need to be happy. What you actually want in life is happiness, contentment, satisfaction, enjoyment. This is exactly what you want, I told them. But most people find it difficult to digest this because their idea is if we can earn a lot of money, obviously we will be happy. That's what most people tend to think in the present society. Not only money, as I put it on the board, so many things. One student told me that as well. Oh, I was thinking I needed only money. Now I know, sir, I want name, fame, power, till family. He said, all those things I want. Correct. But more than that, what is very, very important is peace and happiness. So they think it's automatic. If they are rich enough, they can get it. I gave them a lot of examples of politicians, successful as well as failed politicians, IPS, IAS officers who have committed suicide, businessmen. I don't have to name them, and time is also a constraint, like Nirav Modi, etc., who have fled the country. I gave some examples and asked them whether all these people have this list. They agreed, yes, yes, yes. They all have name, fame, power, etc. But according to their own admission, they told me they are not happy. So just because one fellow gains money does not mean they will be happy. There is something more to happiness. In fact, Ishavasya Upanishad says, Om Ishavasyamidam Sarvam Etkinta Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tektena Bhunjita Bhagruda Kasyasvidhanam. Tena Tektena Bhunjita. Upanishad says, you enjoy the world when you renounce it. The whole thing is that only, Ishavasyamidam. The whole world is covered by, pervaded by that itself. By renouncing this, that's what, cryptic word. By renouncing this means not Brahman, this word. By renouncing this, you may enjoy. By sacrificing, you enjoy. How many people will be able to relate to it? In fact, Arthur Schopenhauer says that he came, he studied all that, he has understood, he has put it beautifully. So it's difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. The whole world is trying, sorry, there was some internet problem, I think. The whole world is trying to find happiness in the outer world. It is difficult to, the most important statement. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. Everyone is trying in the world itself. Well, for which we need to understand what this world is all about. Our own poet, Kannada poet, DVG puts it. Enu prapanchavidu. Just a second, there is some little disturbance here. I'm sorry. So ಏನು ಪ್ರಪಂಚವಿದು, ಏನು ಧಳಾಧಾಳಿ, ಏನು ಅದ್ಭುತ ಅಪಾರ ಶಕ್ತಿ ನಿರ್ಘಾತ, ಮಾನವನ ಗುರಿಯೇನು, ಬೆಲೆಯೇನು, ಮುಗಿವೇನು, ಏನು ಅರ್ಥವಿದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. So great philosophers question these things, but most people are content, complacent with whatever the enjoyment that the life is giving them. So let us look at this world. What this world that we are living in comprises of three things. It's nature, there is nature, resources, and people. The world that we live in can be brought under these three headings: nature, resource, and people. When I say nature, sun, star, galaxies, atmosphere, earth, ocean, everything is included. In fact, as a science lecturer, we keep teaching students, science is exploring nature, understanding nature. So science tries to understand this magnanimous nature. So this word nature incorporates, as I mentioned, everything in this universe. Then we have resources. Resources. Agricultural resource, forest resource, mineral resource, petroleum resource. Some countries do have more. Human resource, etc. Plenty of resources for the people to share.
Hello.
And enjoy.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear, madam?
Yes.
Yes. Is there any problem?
No problem.
Yes. Okay. So resources. The third thing is people. Different people from different countries, different culture, variety of people. So there is nature, resource, and people. So we have to, as people, we have to live in this nature using the resources. Most people do not think. Most people do not think. If at all, if they think of themselves, at the most their family, how to take care of the family. Very few people go beyond family. There are great thinkers who think in terms of the welfare of other people as well. How was this world 100 years ago? 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, we have heard about Ramarajya and all that. So I'm not going that far, just going 100 years backwards. So when we go 100 years backward, you are all aware that especially India and most of these countries were under British rule. So per capita income was around 250 rupees, I heard. Now it is around 1.5 lakh rupees per person in India. So those days, 100 years ago, it was only 250 rupees. Then people were not aware of electricity as well. Now there is such a great technological advancement. But those days, people were not aware of electricity also. So how was life 100 years ago? Just think. So those days also, majority of the people were complacent. Some people, of course, were able to think and they probe the nature. One set of such thinkers worked with nature. They are called scientists. For example, Louis Pasteur saw this malady those days, rabies. He did research. He collected the mad dogs, studied them, injected their saliva into other animals. Tedious job, very difficult, very challenging work he did. He studied their behavior. He injected it to horse, cow, chicken as well. Studied their behavior changes and all that. Ultimately, he was able to produce a vaccine for rabies. What a contribution to humanity. That's why I told you, how was this world 100 years ago? Madame Curie discovered radium. In the process, she developed cancer and died. Today, we use radium to cure cancer. What a contribution to humanity. So, what an now if you say these scientists, because of the contribution of scientists, we have supersonic jets. In every field, there is a revolution. And we are enjoying all the fruits of this labor. Scientists have worked very hard to make this world a better place to live and enjoy life. This is one set of thinkers who worked with nature. Second set of thinkers worked with resource management. They are called economists, from Chanakya till Amartya Sen. I watched a movie, Tale of Two Cities. In fact, some of these movies are shown in Vedanta Academy. Hollywood twist, which depicts the condition of Europe those days, where, in fact, I keep asking students, what is the cause of French Revolution? Cause of French Revolution. aristocratic people, kingsmen, highest strata of the society was exempted from tax. Mill workers, labor class were heavily taxed those days. There was such an exploitation, people could not take it. So there was French Revolution. Neither the poor nor the rich were happy. There was a problem anyway. Under the circumstances, economists step in and they gave ideas, theories. No, this is not correct. What we should be doing is tax the rich people heavily, pass on the benefits to the poor. That's what every government is trying to do now. Pass on the benefits to the poor. Only then we can keep everybody happy. And these economic ideas are being utilized by every government all over the world. They're doing it. And the third set of thinkers work with people management. They're called political thinkers. In fact, our own Mahatma Gandhi fought against the British. Otherwise, British were exploiting us. To manage the people, from Plato, Aristotle till Karl Marx, Abraham Lincoln, they've all given ideas for political management. Through socialism, through democracy, through communism, this is how we have got to govern the people. Only then we can bring in peace, contentment, happiness into the society. These are all the ideas which are incorporated all over the world. Because those days kings were ruling. If the king is good, subjects were happy. If the king is bad, subjects were unhappy. That was the condition. Instead of that, in fact, Abraham Lincoln gave the definition: by the people, for the people, of the people. We will be able to govern people so as to keep them happy. The whole idea is to make everyone happy. And as I mentioned earlier, many people are selfish. They can't think beyond their family. And the law is no selfish person can be happy. No unselfish person can be unhappy. It's a law. I can't change. You can't change. But people are not able to grasp it. Somewhere they miss the point. That's where we need to educate the masses about the ancient wisdom. So these political thinkers gave the idea. What I'm trying to present here is this world comprises of three things: nature, resources, and people. One set of thinkers called scientists worked with nature. Second set of thinkers called economists worked with resources. Third set worked with people management. They're called political thinkers. Because of the contribution of these thinkers, the world is definitely a transformed place compared to what it was 100 years ago. You all know, I don't have to spend time in explaining. The one statement is more than enough: per capita income, and we were under British rule, and people are not aware of electricity itself. So now everybody owns the motor car, and we live in our air-conditioned comforts, all sorts of electronic gadgets. Now through this Zoom, I can reach most of you wherever you are easily. This is the contribution of these scientists. Now the question is, why these people struggled, these thinkers, to transform the world in order to make the life better, in order to keep the people happy and satisfied. The question now is, with all this change, are the people happy as they should be? Some of you can answer.
Please unmute yourself and answer, or you can write in the chat.
What do you think? So I've explained how was this world 100 years ago and how is it today because of the contribution of all these great thinkers. Are the people happy as they should be?
Would say no.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised. I've asked this question to 16-year-old students, 18-year-old students when they're in their 10th standard or in 12th standard or degree students. Believe me, not a single student told me people are happy. Not a single student told me people are happy. Somewhere we must have gone wrong. The government says we'll keep you happy. Education system, educational institutions saying, you get educated, they take this degree and your life is made. They are promising. Social organizations are working to make the people happy, to keep the people peaceful. In addition to that, plenty of religious organizations, variety of religious organizations are claiming that come to us, you will find peace. But it's other way around. People are not happy. That I told you. So by the time students come to 18 years of age, they have understood people are not happy. At the individual level, there is stress and strain. Family level, relationship problem. Social level, vandalism. National level, Naxalism. International level, terrorism. To point out one problem at each level. There are too many things. I repeat, stress and strain at the individual level, relationship problem at the family level. India is much better. So-called advanced countries, divorce rate is going up like anything. In fact, one statistics I saw it on the internet. Divorce rate is directly proportional to the per capita income of the country. If the per capita income is high, divorce rate is high. The per capita income is less, divorce rate is less, like that it is. Well, family level, there is an issue. Social level, too many problems. National level, starting from corruption all over the world, there are problems. International level, terrorism. How can people be happy? So somewhere we have gone wrong in educating the people. We are neglecting the ancient wisdom. In fact, to tell you frankly, straight away, that is the cause of all the problems. Anyway, I can prove it to you in a short while. So you are saying people are not happy. I am saying people are not happy. So why are they not happy? We got to probe further. For that matter, we need to understand life. What is life? Biology defines life in a different way. Philosophically, our ancient masters, sages and saints, have put it beautifully. Anubhavadhara. Life is Anubhavadhara. Means flow of experiences. Flow of water constitutes a river. Similarly, series of experiences, flow of experiences. We move from one experience to other experience. So life is a series of experiences. You had coffee in the evening. It's an experience. You're listening to this lecture now. It's an experience. After that, you may switch on TV and watch news. It's an experience. Or you go out for a walk. It's an experience. If the experience is good, life is good. If the experience is bad, life is bad. It's as simple as that. As the experiences, so the life. If the experiences are happy, happy life. If the experiences are sorrow, life is a sorrow. When we were in 10th standard, we had that slam book, so we used to call that book as autograph book those days. So get these quotations from friends and their address. Those days phones were not there. So as to keep in touch, we had to take the addresses for all our friends in that book. Most of you must have done that. And friends used to write a quotation and then write their address. Of course, teachers also. And some of my friends have written, life is short, make it sweet. That's the understanding of life. Life is a joy, enjoy. Some of them have written. Life is a sorrow, suffer. Some others have written. So for some people, life may be joy. So some people, life may be sorrow. Sometimes it is joy, sometimes it is sorrow. All that put together is what we call as life. So life is a series of experiences. So in order to bring about change in our experience, we got to understand the constituents of this experience. What is this experience? So we need to know what this experience is. An experience has two things in it. When the object meets the subject, there arises experience. I'll elaborate. When an object comes in contact with the subject, there arises experience. If I ask you to enjoy a chocolate now, will you be able to do that? You will be able to do that provided you have chocolate in front of you. If the chocolate is not there, you cannot have the experience of enjoying a chocolate. So chocolate is the object, you are the subject. So we experience this world. This world offers sight for the eye, sound for the ear, smell for the nose, taste for the tongue, touch for the skin. That is how we enjoy this world. So when an individual contacts the world, there arises this experience. When an individual contacts this world through the five sense organs, there arises experience. In order to make life better, we want to improve the quality of experience. So these great thinkers, scientists, economists, and the political thinkers have made this world a wonderful place. They've improved the world, but the individual is neglected to a point of fault. There is no program anywhere in the world. There is no program anywhere in the world to prepare the individual to contact the world. In the colleges today, universities today, we are only giving them skills so that they can take up a job and earn money. Nowhere we are teaching them how to relate to the world. That's why, as you mentioned, people are not happy. In this regard, obviously, world we have understood, world has been improvised so much. Everybody is aware of it. But the individual is neglected to a point of fault. What is this individual? Individual is nothing but human being. In present context, when I say individual, all of us understand it's nothing but human being. In fact, it's the human being who is going through all these problems. So we got to understand the individual. Human being comprises of a physical body. Three things. Physical body. Physical body has got two sets of organs. Organs of perception and organs of action. Organs of perception, I mean Panchendriyas. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin. These are the organs of perception. Organs of action, hand, leg, etc., through which we act. But body by itself do not act. Body by itself do not act. There is something other than the body, within the body, which propels the body, compels the body to act. Any guess? Body by itself do not act. Body is very easy to understand. You stand in front of a mirror, you will know. Body by itself do not act. Body by itself do not want to come to this class. Body by itself do not want to avoid this class. There is something other than the body, within the body, which propels the body, compels the body to act. Okay. So that is nothing but mind. Mind. The question is, what is mind? Question is, what is mind? Mind is a seat of feelings and emotions. Mind is a seat of feelings and emotions. We have love and hatredness, anger and jealousy, joy and sorrow, kindness and cruelty, devotion and indifference. These are all the feelings and emotions. And there are impulses. In the schools and colleges, I am noticing it, So students will be looking at the board, but their mind will be somewhere else. Some unwanted thought keeps coming to their mind, and they will fail to concentrate on what we are talking about. That's what we are referring it to as impulses. Then likes and dislikes. Good or bad. We like some food, we don't like some food. We like some dress, we don't like some dress. We like some people, we don't like some people. We like some subjects, we don't like some subjects. We don't like to exercise, we don't like to do yoga, we like to laze, and so on. My point is, what we like may not be good to us, what we dislike may be very good to us. Anyway, it's all there in the mind. Above all, there are desires, innumerable desires. Human beings are infested with desires. Gautama Buddha said that desire is the main cause of all the problems of human beings. Anyway, he said, but this is mind. Mind is the seat of feelings and emotions, impulses, likes and dislikes, and desires. And only a human being is endowed with another important faculty which is not known in the world today. Any guess?
So, intellect.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, intellect. Even degree students are not aware. I mean, even in the universities, they're not teaching these things. They're not aware that they have something called intellect. And it is not developed. So obviously I can say they don't have it. Intellect is that which can think, that which thinks, that which goes by the reason, that discriminates between good and bad, that which judges, and that which decides. In fact, main function of the intellect is to govern the mind. You can't leave the feelings and emotions just like that. In fact, all the problems, stress, strain, family issues, all those things I was mentioning are because of the mind. That's why in every religion, these desires are personified as devil. In Christianity, it is called Satan. In Islam, Shaitan. Buddhism, it is called Mara. Hinduism, Asura. This mind needs to be taken under control, for which we are blessed with the intellect, and we are not developing it, we are not using it. Not only that, millions of engineers come out of the engineering college. One fellow finds out, one fellow builds the Eiffel Tower, Panama Canal. That fellow is thinking, that person has the intellect. Millions of doctors come out of the medical college. One doctor finds out how to transplant a kidney or a heart or a brain. That originally, for the first time, that part doctor is thinking originally. All others are just carried away by what their predecessors did. That's what we are referring to as intellect to start with at the first step. So gross intellect. We need to develop the intellect. I've been stressing, this is the whole theme of the presentation, and there is no program anywhere in the world to develop the intellect. Unless you develop the intellect, we will not be able to take the mind under control, and the desires are nothing but the devil which is waiting to destroy us, which every religion has presented it, depicted it. So we got to take control of Shaitan, Satan. People are not aware that it is destroying them. So there has to be a program to develop the intellect. Only a human being is blessed with the intellect, because if you look at this chart, plants have only body, animals have body and mind. They have feelings and emotions. Of course, mind they do have, and their life is conditioned. They may not need a intellect. Only a human being needs an intellect for his survival. So if it is not governed, this is what happens. If it is governed, it can make the hell out of a heaven. Sorry, if the mind is not governed, it can make hell out of a heaven. When it is governed, the same mind can convert hell into heaven. Otherwise, it will turn heaven into hell. I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to say in the beginning. It turns heaven into hell when it is not monitored. So John Milton puts it both beautifully. Mind in its own place can make a hell out of a heaven when it is not monitored, or a heaven out of a hell when you monitor that. And all these masters have reiterated this fact that mind needs to be conquered. Swami Vivekananda also repeated the same quotation: conquer the mind, you conquer the world. In order to conquer the mind, we need to develop the intellect. So otherwise, we suffer. This is symbolic. These are the ideas, which are all given. Swamiji has written on book, Symbolism of Hindu Gods and Religions. I've taken few points from that book. You've all seen Lord Vishnu. He has 4 hands. In one of the hand, he has Shanku. Shanku, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Chakra, lotus, and Gada. Shank represents conscience, your own conscience. If you follow that conscience, symbolically, what the significance of it is this: if you follow the conch, your own conscience, by developing the intellect, not going by the likes and dislikes and desires, you get the lotus. Not the BJP symbol. Lotus is the symbol of happiness, infinite happiness, the bliss of Godhead. That's why all the gods and goddesses are standing on lotus, holding lotus. If you do not hit to the conscience, then Gada will come. Gada is knocks and shocks in life. Financial problems, health problems, family problems, all sorts of things which the people are facing today. That's only because they are not following the conscience. They go to Tirupati, have darshan and come, they miss the point. The point is they should obey their conscience for which they need an intellect. And even after they're taking knocks and shocks, they will not budge. They continue in the same direction, and finally, Chakra will come to destroy them. That is the significance of Ramayana, Mahabharata. Duryodhana was destroyed along with all his brothers. He didn't heed to the knocks and shocks. Ravana was destroyed. He didn't listen to his conscience. He got knocks and shocks. Vibhishana tried him, left him, everything, and his son, brother, so many of them dead. Even after that, he didn't realize, understand. Chakra came, he was destroyed. That's exactly what is happening to the world today. So there is an urgent need to revive this knowledge. Same chart, I put it elaborately, which is there in Vedanta treatise, which I'll be talking to in a few minutes in that book. So the supreme God, which everyone is searching, is not outside, is there within every one of us. Every Upanishad is talking about it. Time is a constraint. In fact, some of you, if you can follow Kannada, Sarvagna puts it beautifully. Where is this God? ಸಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಮರಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನುಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಶಿಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಣ್ಣಿಸಿ ಬರೆದಿರುವ ಪಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಾತ ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರನೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. I don't know how many of you will be able to follow this. ಸಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಮರಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ. So we make Ganesha idol from the mud. If God can be there in it, ಸಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಮರಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನುಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಶಿಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, all the idols in the temple, if God can be there in that idol which is made of stone, ಬಣ್ಣಿಸಿ ಬರೆದಿರುವ ಪಟದಲ್ಲಿ, in our puja rooms we have photos of gods, pictures of God. If he can be there in that, can he not be there in me, is what the question posed by Sarvagna. ಸಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಮರಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನುಣ್ಣನೆಯ ಶಿಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಣ್ಣಿಸಿ ಬರೆದಿರುವ ಪಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಾತ ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರನೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. So this God is enabling us to operate in this world. We are not aware of it. And this is the chart anyway. So all that I want you to understand in this is we have a physical personality through the body, physical body, and then the emotional personality because of the mind. And then there are two types of intellect, gross intellect and the subtle intellect. Gross intellect deals with the world. Subtle intellect deals with the spiritual aspect of the human being beyond the world. So we have a physical personality, emotional personality, intellectual personality, and spiritual personality. Physical personality, present day world, everybody goes to gym, take proper food and try to maintain good physique. Emotional personality is neglected to a point of fault because intellect is not there. And intellectual personality misunderstood as science, physicist, chemist, so you study in depth and understand. This open humor movie, most of you must have seen. After that, he understands he made a blunder. He gave the idea of atom bomb, and later he realizes the mistake he did. So like that, of course, he's an intellectual, but the intellect is used for the destructive purpose because he lacked spiritual personality. So we got to give importance to the spiritual personality. Only when we improve the spiritual personality, there can be peace in this world. And Bhagavad Gita says so. So you can't depend on others to develop your spiritual personality. Uddared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmano bandhuratmaiva ripuratmanaha. You got to lift yourself by yourself. Do not lower yourself. Yourself alone is your friend. Yourself alone is your foe, enemy. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. But how many people relate to it, adopt it, live by it? For which you got to acquire knowledge, convert that knowledge into wisdom. Automatically you live the life, gain peace and happiness. So the point I'm trying to make is the cause of all the problems in the world is only because of spiritual ignorance. There is no systematic approach to train the people in this field. There are medical colleges, there are engineering colleges to train people systematically and scientifically to make them doctors or engineers. In the spiritual field, such a systematic approach is nowhere to be found. Our Guru, Swami Parthasarathi, did a fantastic work. He developed the literature, established an institution, trained the people. As I've already mentioned, he has put all these eternal truths in scientific manner, contemporary thought and language, and he produced one masterpiece called Vedanta Treatise. One book contains everything: Brahma Sutras, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Bible, Quran. You name a religious book, all the ideas are incorporated into this book, which is around 300 pages. All of you will do well to pick the book. You master this one book, you got everything. To elaborate on this aspect, I was given only 1 hour, out of which, we have spent some time in the beginning as well. So I had to go a little faster. But he has done a wonderful work. All of you will do very well if you pick this book. Of course, now it's available online everywhere. So pick that, and it will change your life forever. I am the example. That's what, in the beginning, when they asked for my introduction, I was an ordinary chemistry teacher, came in touch with him, and I should admit, CF change in the worldly life as well. Spiritually, no measures. I don't know how many of our thanks, nothing of that sort will be sufficient, will be able to fulfill the knowledge given by our Guru. So he did all that work. All of you will definitely do well if you make use of this book. Thank you very much for this opportunity. If you have questions, you can ask me now.
Thank you very much, Mannjunatha ji, for this very interesting and enlightening talk. It was really nice. We will open up the session now for questions and answers. Anyone has any questions? Kindly unmute yourself and ask. We don't need the screen right now, so then we'll be able to see.
Yeah. So I'll take out this screen.
Yes, it will be better. Do you think you could remove the screen, switch it off?
Yes.